Hi, everybody, and welcome to our first ever podcast. I am really honoured to be joined by my co host, Kira. Welcome, Kira.
Hey, Sharon. It's great to be here with you and to do this podcast with you. We've been talking about doing a podcast for quite a while, and we finally have gotten time to sit down and do it. So, this is amazing. I am so happy to be here with you and to be here with our listeners. Pull up a chair or pour yourself a nice warm cup of tea and just sit with us for a few minutes.
You could even have a glass of wine as well, listeners. It doesn't have to be tea.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be tea. It could be wine.
No.
Wine.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Could be anything. Yeah, exactly. So Sharon, I think a good way to get started. I know we have our Facebook group and we have our website and we have our profiles, like our reader profiles up there. But because this is a new platform, I think it's worth like introducing ourselves again and kind of talking about our history, talking about what this podcast is all about, and then maybe you can share one of your stories of like your amazing journey and career. That would be fantastic. What do you think?
Certainly. Well, okay. So, my name is Sharon Neill, and I live I live just outside Belfast. In Northern Ireland. I was originally from Belfast, but not any longer. I'm living in a little um, seaside town, which I'm not going to mention because it doesn't need to be named. But anyway, so I, so I, I suppose for me, I'm also, I suppose, I don't even know what to say because I
Oh
don't
my
like,
gosh, Sharon.
I don't like talking about myself.
I know you always have this problem. I feel like I should be your I should be your introduction
I
for
think you
you.
need to do my introduction for me because I don't like doing this. It's something that I've always had a problem with, and I even now after all this time, like I still don't like doing introductions. I get somebody to do it for me. So, and we should leave all that stuff in there, by the way, because it's natural.
It is. This is just a conversation, exactly.
Uh-huh. All right, can you do the introduction, Kira? Because I'm not. I am absolutely
Jeez.
rubbish
Okay.
at
Okay.
introducing
Okay.
myself.
We'll do it this way. I'll introduce you and then you introduce me. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So this is my co-host Sharon. Um Sharon Neill, as she said, she's just from outside Belfast, grew up in Belfast. She is known as the UK's blind psychic or first blind psychic, depending on which article you read. Blind since birth. My friend Sharon is absolutely incredible. She's written a best selling book called Second Sight, which is what our podcast is kind of named after. Um, she's also done sold out tours on her Second Sight book tour. And
It wasn't just a book tour; it was shows as well.
shows. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually just my book tour because I was doing tours before I published my autobiography,
Oh,
which was
okay.
actually published in 2007. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and she's been on like numerous documentaries for the BBC and also a competition show for psychics in Ukraine. So, Sharon has been everywhere. She's known for her stunning accuracy when it comes to mediumship and also helping people to connect with loved ones. I have to say, on a personal level, I've gotten to know Sharon for the past year, and I have not read her book intentionally because I want to get to know the person, not necessarily like the figure. And I can say to everyone listening, if you know Sharon, then you know Sharon. There is no difference between the personal figure and the public figure. She is 100%. Um, she is done some amazing things, not just for me in particular in my own spiritual journey, my own spiritual growth, but just for so many people. So, part of the reason we're doing this podcast is to bring the light and to kind of dive back into the world of second sight and the great community that was around that. Um, so that's Sharon. All right. Time for my introduction, far less interesting.
Okay. So I met Kira through the I suppose I would call it the Visually Impaired Network. Um,
Yes.
it was we have a group, it's a WhatsApp group, which the first WhatsApp group we started was actually in 2020, but Kira didn't join until 2021,
Ooh,
2022.
yeah.
Okay, I have to remember dates. Okay, so Kira is she's from obviously from America, as you can hear by the accent.
Oh, sorry.
And she um is somebody who, like myself, is very down to earth. She doesn't have any um she knows how to push a punch. She's very straight to the point, as am I. And I think she's actually training at the moment. She's very good at readings, and many other things, which you'll hear about throughout the podcast. But um, we have been working together on other projects, and I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that it's a pleasure to work with her. It's a pleasure to talk with her, and it's a pleasure to know her because of the fact that she is so authentic. And I can say that because I am authentic. And I've met many readers and psychics in my lifetime. But Kira's probably one of the most authentic people that I have actually ever met, because I don't recommend people very often. And she's actually the genius behind our website on Facebook.
You're making me blush.
Yeah, I'm sure I am. Yeah, you are a
I
genius.
am
I don't
not.
know how she does all that stuff. But anyway, uh, basically, she's the one that's going to be kind of producing the podcast. All I'm doing is doing my usual fantastic stuff, which is talking.
Yeah. So if it sounds like crap, it's my fault.
Absolutely not. No way. No, it won't sound like crap. It will sound amazing.
Goodness, so goodness. As you can see, Sharon and I just like to mess, and we are very serious about training and about our work, but at the same time we like to have fun and we like to kind of just have some banter and training and doing anything with the craft is serious
Yeah,
business. It's good to have a sense of humor, I think.
I think it's important to have both the serious and the not so serious side,
Yeah.
especially with the kind of work that's involved with the working with the not just the craft, but anything to do with energy,
Yeah.
um, mediumship, readings of any kind, the craft, whatever you're doing, you do have to be completely focused, and you do have to be serious. That doesn't mean to say that some of the communications, some of the messages you get are not necessarily, joking, because some of them are. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I can actually remember one particular message where I was in a show, and I don't even remember where it was, but this woman in the audience, one of her relatives had come forward to speak to her,
Mm.
and she turned around and she said to me, "Well, he might want to speak to me, but I don't want to bleep speak to him,
Oh
because
no.
as far as I'm concerned, and this is what the funny part of it was, as far as I'm concerned, he's dead to me."
Oh
Everybody
dear.
in the audience, everybody in the audience
Oh god.
went into stitches because she didn't even realize what she'd said. And I'm like, I don't mean this the wrong way, whatever her name was. Let's say it was Jean, for example. I said, I don't mean this the wrong way, Jean, but I hope he is dead because I'm talking to him. And That's what I mean by bringing the humor into the seriousness.
Yeah, exactly,
The,
exactly.
the guy that was trying to communicate was actually the person's stepfather, and they didn't
Mm.
have a very good relationship.
Right,
And
right, right.
he was coming through. No, it's okay to say this because I haven't mentioned the person's real name.
Mhm.
He was coming through to try to apologize and make amends, but when she said, "As far as I'm concerned, he's dead to me," everyone just went into fits of laughter, including me, because I'm like, "Well, I hope so, because I'm talking to him." So yeah, so that's the sort of humorous. That's what bringing in the serious and the
Mhm.
humorous. That's what we mean by
Yeah,
bringing both sides together.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. And we're going to tell more stories like that from Sharon's time on the road, her time on tour, her book signings, different documentaries she's done. We might even insert some sound clips here and there of some stuff that she's done in the past.
Oh no!
Um,
Oh my goodness! I've done radio shows and TV shows all over the world, and I'm still like saying. I would always say to the presenter, he said, "Do you want to introduce yourself?" No, you do it. No. Um, and I've been out of the loop for quite a while, but I'm back. I am back, and this is
yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we're back.
yep,
Um,
we're back.
well, I'm here, you're back.
Yep,
um,
and we've got a small community at the moment, but we're hoping to make it grow. And by subscribing and listening to our podcast and joining our Facebook group, you will help to make it happen.
yeah.
We also have a website, which we're going to be adding much more content to over
Mhm.
the next few weeks. And I would love you guys to go and check it out because that would be absolutely amazing. And if you find the podcast interesting and entertaining and informative, then you could give us a testimonial as well.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we would love a comment or a review. And we will be posting the links to our podcast also on our website. So if you're listening to this on Spotify or any of the related podcast platforms, feel free to head over to our website, magicalgrove.uk, and get to know us a bit more. Like Sharon said, we'll be adding more content and we will be growing the community even more. Um, so Sharon, we talked about our website, we introduced ourselves. Um, I think it's important to talk about like what I've been seeing as far as, like the change and the shift I've been seeing um towards people being more open and more curious to like the spiritual side. And then maybe we can have one of your stories.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
So like I don't know if you've been noticing this, but recently I've been noticing that a lot of young people like on social media and stuff are more and more interested in alternative practices like paganism, or they're interested in tarot and that kind of stuff. So I have found that fascinating considering like 20 years ago, people weren't even allowed to say the word pagan because it was synonymous with like satanic stuff or like people who are not intelligent or people who are like weird or like on the fringes of society. So, which by the way couldn't be further from the truth. Um, and I think that's another good reason for this good thing for this podcast, because we will be talking about like dispelling um dispelling myths around paganism, um and kind of showing, what it's all about, and showing demystifying it is what I want to say. Um what do you think of that?
Um, yes, everything you're saying is absolutely correct. I think the reason why a lot of people are becoming more interested is because um, they are becoming disillusioned with um, not just one religion, but all Orthodox religions, because So I'm not criticizing any religion or judging any religion. That's definitely not what I'm about. But
No.
I can only tell you from the feedback that people have told me over the past maybe 10 years, um, they're becoming disillusioned with the stuff that would be inside the box. So they're now looking outside. And I think that paganism and anything, not just paganism, because paganism, as we were talking about in another podcast, is just a word.
Yeah.
But anything to do with stuff that's, in quotes, different, close quotes, I think people are starting to lean towards that. And we want to, as Kira said, we want to demystify everything and make it a lot easier for people to understand, because there are so many misunderstandings around all of this subject.
Yes, exactly. And like, I know we'll get more into this in like another podcast, but this is kind of the stuff that Sharon and I will be talking about. So I'm wanting to bring it up now in our first episode just to set the scene and set the tone of the podcast, and maybe get people excited about it. Is another thing we're going to be talking about is how magic is accessible to everyone. A lot of people have this notion that like only certain people can do magic, or they have a very narrow definition of what magic is. If you're cooking a meal and you're thinking about the ingredients and you're thinking about where they came from, and you're, thinking about the earth, then you're doing magic. And I think that's really one of the core missions of not only our website, our Facebook page, but also this podcast, is showing people that you don't need a deck of tarot cards to do magic. You can do it in your house, um, sitting on your floor. You can do it for 5 minutes a day. You could do it for, an hour a day. It's all about your intention.
It is about your intention, and also, you know, it's not just about doing some kind of trick. We actually spell magic Magic, capital
Mhm.
K, because the Magic is like the trick magic, the magician's magic and all that. It's not like that at all. It's totally
Yeah.
different. But yeah, we will be talking about that. We'll also be talking about, as we mentioned earlier, crystals. What are they? What are their properties? What
I
can you
love
do with them?
crystals.
Yes, I love crystals also. What can you do with them? All that kind of thing. Tarot cards, oracle cards, different types of divination, the pendulum, dowsing. Oh my goodness, there'll be so many different subjects. But the other point is, we want to know as well what you would like us to talk about.
Exactly.
So we want people to send us emails to our email, which will be in the show notes,
Mhm.
our email address. What do you want to talk about? What is it that, what questions do you have? Or
Yes.
you can even go to our website and do it through the contact form. What questions do you have? What is it that mystifies you about all this? What is it that
Yes.
interests you about all this? We want to know all of it, okay? Because we're very nosy. We want to know what's going on.
We are. And
Yeah.
and the other part of it is, I mean, this is somebody, yourself, Sharon, who's been doing this for over 50 years, you know? I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. Um,
Yes,
and
I have. I mean, I think um, I should say I've been doing it from I've been doing it in a way from I was 6 years old, but didn't realize what it was until I became a teenager. But on and off, yes, I have been doing it for a very long time. And although I did go off the radar for a few years because after such a hectic touring and everything else, I thought, okay, I need a break. Um, but I'm back. But what I do want to say is in our first episode, very, very clearly, anything that we do now, anything that I'm doing now is free of charge. That is
yes,
very, very important. I am no longer um I'm no longer asking for payment for anything that I do. It is completely voluntary. I want to share my knowledge with you, and I want to share my knowledge, and also I want to have people who can say, yeah, you know what? we're doing this. We're doing it. We want as many people as possible to be out there doing it because this work is not about like a master or whatever. It's not about somebody who has to be, you have to go and pay £500 or £600 or whatever. Anybody can do this. That's what we're
Yes.
trying to get across.
Yes.
And there's probably going to be some people that are not going to like us saying it, but it is the truth. Anyone can do it.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree. I think so, yes. Everything that we do in the Magical Grove, readings, any sort of reading, any sort of course, because we are starting to do courses, any sort of um, thing that we offer is all free of charge. We are a learning group. We're all about learning. I'm honored to consider myself like a student of Sharon's, and she is opening up and giving us like a really full access um to her from a teaching perspective. And she said for me from the beginning, I don't want anything for this. If we're going to do this, it has to be completely free of charge, because um this needs to be um it needs to be about teaching. It needs to be about spreading the knowledge. It doesn't need to be about, like she said, paying 500 or 600 pounds for a reading. um and I completely agree as well that everyone has gifts. We will be talking more about like gifts and honing your gifts, and um bringing your intuition forward. I mean, we've been working with people for maybe like even a month, and they have completely changed, completely grown. And it's amazing what happens when you just give somebody that confidence to um talk not to talk to give somebody the confidence to bring forward their gifts. I mean, that is the biggest thing I think that we can contribute.
Yes. And also, when people are given the safe space to talk about their experiences, which they think a lot of people are going to judge, and they're going to think, "Oh my God, this person's wacky." They're cracking up.
Yeah.
It really does help them because they think, "Okay, there is people out there like me. Wow, that's good." So that's what we're about.
We thought it might be a good idea to end with a little story from Sharon. So,
Okay,
Sharon, take it away and make sure not to spoil it.
I won't. I won't. Um. Okay, so I went to a particular place. I'm not going to mention the name, but it was in England and it was an inn. Now, an inn nowadays would be called a hotel, but this was
Mhm.
called an inn. Um, it was, what I can say is it was near a very famous down called Watership Down, which is actually it was actually where there was a book. And I can say this because it's in the public. I mean, it was about rabbits and it was a children's book. And Watership Down is a very famous place in England. And I was staying at an inn close to there, close to that area. And I was visited by a very interesting person at like 3 o'clock in the morning. He was a highwayman.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm gonna end there because I'm gonna end the next part of the story in the next podcast.
Yes, yes. You'll have to tell us, like what happened, how he came to you, all that in the next episode, because
I
that
will.
is fascinating.
Absolutely. No
I
problem.
like we need to I think this is a great like cliffhanger to end on.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was intending to do. Because guess what? In order to find out what happened about the highwayman, and by the way, he didn't get any money, so just remember that. You need to listen to the next episode of Second Sidecast.
Yes, exactly. In order to figure out what happened to Sharon and the was he passed over Sharon? I'm assuming, yeah.
Well, if he wasn't, then I had somebody in my room at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, that would do it. Yes, he was passed over. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will oh god. On that note, on that note, I want to say thank you to everyone who's listening to our podcast. Please check us out on Facebook and on our website. Oh, yeah, and we also have a YouTube channel. So this will be going up on our YouTube channel as well. Send us a message in our email address, our contact form. We are all over the place. So come find us. And I am just excited to go on this journey with you, Sharon.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going on the second site journey again. It's bringing back a lot of memories because
Yay!
that was the name of the shows and everything that I did
Yeah.
in the book and everything. And it's just great to be back on the journey, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, get subscribing, people.
Bye.
Bye.